Hey, what's up guys? So Injustice 2 has officially released now. I'm going to go over the in-game tutorial from the perspective of someone who, mostly plays Street Fighter games. I have played Mortal Kombat X, but never an Injustice game, so this is all still pretty new to me. There's a ton of differences engine-wise and combo-wise, a lot different than a lot of Capcom games, so anything that I personally learned I want to share with you guys as well to just, help everyone ease into this game and also get some feedback from you guys who are already familiar with it so we can learn this together. So let's get started. So the tutorial mode in this game is pretty decent. I especially like the character tutorials. I kind of wish there was trials in this game. There might be something in the multiverse. Just get you a head start because the combo system is a lot different here. So we're going over basic movement, nothing out of the ordinary from like a Street Fighter game. There's no like universal run mechanic like there was in Mortal Kombat X, for example. No stamina bar. Kind of triggers me though. It says duck instead of crouch, but whatever. Small adjustment. So let's hold down duck here. And then yes, basic jumping. Batman has a double jump, by the way, but that's just like character specific stuff. So basic movement done. Alright, so basic attacks now. There's three main attacks in this game. There's lights, mediums, and heavies. And then there's a trait button. Your trait is like, it totally depends on what your character is. Think of it like a V-skill or a V-trigger as just something totally exclusive. So let's just start with our light attack. And then our medium here. And then also the annotation that they use for NRS games are numpad notation. So it's 1, 2, 3. So light is 1, and medium is 2, and heavy is 3. So hit him with a 3. Okay, so jumping 1, jumping 2, and then when we jump with a heavy, you'll notice it'll knock the opponent down. So there are some differences in the strengths there, just on that. So that's already like different from a Street Fighter game, for example. When you jump with a heavy, it doesn't like knock them down like that. Alright, so with defense is a lot different in this game as well. There's no like block button. Like in Mortal Kombat, you do actually have to hold back to block, but there's a small difference here. So let's talk about mid attacks. Mid attacks in Injustice is not like an overhead. It's just an attack. It's just like an attack that hits mid, basically. If you're crouching, it'll still hit you, and if you're standing, it'll hit you, obviously. So it's saying you can hold back or down. So when you hold down in this game, you're actually blocking both ways, crouching. But of course, it won't block from overhead attacks, so you can't use it if someone's trying to cross you up, for example, because that'd be an overhead. But if someone has like some kind of move that teleports and quickly hits you from the other side, like a scorpion teleport, for example, you can hold down and block both ways, basically. Unless the attack both crosses you up and hits you overhead, then that's a problem, right? So low attacks. So this, you cannot crouch, obviously. I'm holding down. You can also hold down back if you want. It'll still block either way. But you just have to hold down, and it'll block low. And then here we have high attacks. Once again, high attacks are not overheads either. These are just attacks that completely whiff when the opponent, when you're crouching from them. This is important to know against like projectiles, because like some projectiles will hit high and you can crouch them rather than taking block damage. Because blocking in this game, you take damage, right? It wants me to block this now. So another thing too is there's some specials in this game that will hit high, and if you block it, they're safe on block. And what the game wants you to do is crouch it instead so you can punish it. But I'll go over more of that in the future. It's just important to understand that like lows, mid, and highs, they matter. You want to understand this. So overhead attacks is like how we, as a Street Fighter player here, like a mid, it's something that you cannot block while crouching. So it wants me to hit Superman with an overhead. So forward 3. So that's forward heavy. You can charge it as well. I'm not sure the differences is. I think it does the same damage, so someone can tell me what the difference of charging it is. Maybe it's for timing or something. Okay, so now it's just putting me through the grind. It wants me to block Superman's attacks. I'm just waiting for that overhead, man. Oh, that was scary. The overheads in this game are fast. Some of them are just like, they didn't design the game in a way that all overheads are reactable. There are some overheads you just can't react to. You gotta guess. So it's really funny. Okay, block training complete. Alright, so now it wants us to use everything that we learned here. We're going to use an overhead attack, attack with the mid, and then we're going to use a jumping attack, and we should be good. Yeah, there's a lot of combos and stuff I need to learn in this game. Yeah, it's just totally different from a Street Fighter game. Alright, so additional attacks can be performed by holding a direction while pressing the attack button. So basically just command normals, they call them directional attacks. But actually, this is something that's good to point out. So Batman's back 1 actually hits low, but your down 1 does not hit low. So like in a Street Fighter game, we'd think like our down light kick would always hit low for all the characters, right? But for Batman, if he wants to hit low, for example, he would have to use this command normal or directional attack back 1. So that's just something, a little difference there. Back 2, I think that hits mid, and then our forward 2. And then our classic uppercut. In Injustice, you actually recover fast enough that you can combo afterwards, after you do an uppercut in this game. And then our down 3, our down heavy is actually our sweep. So we can think of it like a kind of like a back 4 from Mortal Kombat. Alright, so now we have the environmental interactions. I heard a lot of controversy from Injustice 1. There's like unblockable interactions and stuff. There's also like differences between what your character is that change what their interaction was, but I think they don't have that anymore in Injustice 2. Someone correct me, but anyways, you can press R1 or you can press 1 and 2 at the same time. So I'll just do that and just throw a trash can. And then there's one where we're using the wall. You can use this to escape or whatever. So, you know, there are some stages that might benefit some characters more than others when dealing with projectiles and stuff. It's just like a little, something just to spice up the game pretty much. So, we'll just do a wall jump here. And then I think it wants us to wall jump and then attack. Even though we didn't hit the character. Oh yeah, so there's stage transitions as well. So when you're close to the corner of specific stages with the transition, if you press forward 3, there's 2 like universal command normals, and one's back 3 and forward 3, and the forward 3 will go through that whole animation. Or sorry, it's back 3, and I'll go through this whole animation and deal additional damage, and you can combo into this. So it's good to end some combos into this. It'll reset you back to the middle of the stage, so it'll reset you back to neutral. But it's just good to get some extra damage if you happen to be in the corner. But from what I've seen, a lot of the resets and stuff in this game, you don't want to use the stage transition because you want to keep them in the corner, right? You don't want to reset them back. So it wants us to do it again, so back 3 again. You can charge it as well. You don't have to just tap it. And then it'll just bring us back to where we were, basically. So each stage has like 2 stages. Basically, well, I think there's 4 stages that don't have them. Like I said, there are specific stages that don't have transitions. All right, so combos. I remember back in the day when Mortal Kombat X came out, I had to go over a tutorial explaining how the combo system works, because it took me a long time to figure it out too, because it was just so different, because we're so used to linking in Street Fighter games. I'll probably make another video again in the future, but I'll do a quick summary here. So when it says square, square, triangle, or 1, 1, 2, think of it like a target combo that you can do while whiffing. Most like Street Fighter players, they'll hit 1 and then they'll wait until Batman's hand comes back and then link back into another 1. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to press square, square, triangle without stopping. You don't even have to look at the screen, you just press it. But if you do it too slow, say you go square, square, wait for both of Batman's hands to go by, and then press triangle. So go square, square, and then triangle, it won't come out. I'm just doing it too slow. I gotta do it faster. So that's the first thing. So just remember, when you see like combos in this game, do it without stopping, and a quick succession. So square, triangle, X. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 2, 3. All right, simple. So juggle combos, there's like a whole thing about hit stun in this game that I want to talk about, but a lot of the combos, real combos in this game, are with juggling, because when you have frame advantages in this game, it doesn't necessarily mean that the opponent can't block. It's a lot different, but juggle combos is like the base part of this game, on how you can do damage that the opponent cannot, stop you from doing. A real combo, basically. So like I said before, your uppercuts you can actually recover in time. So it says delay, just so you can juggle into your 2. So like I said, there's 2 universal command normals. The back 3, which I showed you guys before, is the stage transition, and you can charge it. And then the forward 3, this is like a universal overhead. I'm pretty sure every character has this, and you can also charge this as well. So it wants us to do forward 3 into 3. Okay, so juggle combo now. So it's just teaching us basically to do a string into a juggle. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then 3. Some moves require precise timing. Lessons in this section may pause to point out specific mechanics. If you find your opponent playing defensively, execute a throw. So throws are pretty much the same. I'm not sure the window for taking a throw. I'm pretty sure it's huge. It's a lot bigger than most Street Fighter games. But yeah, in this game, like I said, you take a lot of block damage, so it gets scary. So you definitely want to learn to throw a lot. What's weird too is that when you do a throw in this game, just neutral throw, you throw them backwards. So it's kind of, yeah, backwards than in Street Fighter. Like in Street Fighter, when you throw someone, you'll naturally throw them forward, and you have to hold back to throw them back. But in this game, yeah, it's just, you just tap it neutral, and it will naturally throw them back. And then the funny thing is, if you want to throw them forward, which most of the time you want to do because you want to get them, you know, towards the corner, right? Every fighting game, you want to get your opponent into the corner, so you don't want to keep back throwing them, or it's just never going to happen, right? So naturally, you have to hold forward to do that. I'm not sure why it's like this way, but whatever. It's a very small difference. And then it's just, yeah, just showing 2 ways. I'm using the macro because whatever. I'm using pad, by the way, guys. For NRS games, I'm more comfortable using pad when I usually just use joystick. It's okay. I get to, you know, prop up my feet on my desk and just enjoy that pad life, you know. Good blood circulation, too. So while throws cannot be blocked, there's a brief chance for a throw escape. So just teching throw, it's the same thing, just pressing throw. The game shows me flashing white because it's just showing me the timing for it, so you know exactly when to press it. And like I said, the window feels very, very long for this game, so it seems like you have a lot of time to see it. But I think there's some characters where you can combo after throws and such, so throws are pretty damn dangerous. I think you can even combo into throws from juggles, but I'm not too sure yet. I'm still getting used to the combo system. Alright, so we're going over special moves now. Special moves are obviously a little different from Street Fighter games where they're simplified. They're really easy to do on pad. Now, for this one, like when a Street Fighter player sees it, they see quarter circle forward 1, basically, right? You can just tap down forward and square, and the move will come out. Or you can go quarter circle forward square, and the move will still come out. So when I do this, I'm actually doing quarter circle forward square. It doesn't make a difference. It's up to you how you want to do it. For this, you can go half circle forward 2, but I don't see why would you want to do that, right? You want to take advantage of doing it really quick, so it's back forward 2. You can hold back and go to forward 2 if you do it quickly, if you want to do it that way. But there is a command in this game that lets you change it to like Street Fighter motions where it adds diagonal inputs. But you don't really need to do that because you can just keep it off, and I could just do half circle forward 2 if I want to, or I could just press back forward 2. So this is one of the reasons why I use pad, because I just don't see the advantage at all of using joystick. It just feels clunky for no reason. So back forward 3. So this is what I was talking about, the trait. So this is your 4, and this is where you're pressing circle, and it's very different depending on what character you're using. Like, it's like V-trigger, right? Like, some are passives, some are just straight up activation. There's a lot of different things. It's one of the cool parts about this game for sure, is the way to really express the difference of each character, especially since they're all superheroes. So Wayne Tech, so like I said, this command is called 4, or circle. So I press circle, and then I'll have these 3 bats with me, and you can see it on the bottom of the screen that they're highlighted, right? And then if I press circle again, I'll launch them out. And then normally what would happen is at the bottom of the screen, those bats would start recharging slowly, 1 at a time. And I can summon 1 at a time, or I can wait till all 3 is full, and then summon all 3 again. But once again, this is exclusive to Batman, right? So another thing you could do is I can call the bats. I think you can only do this when you have all 3 bats active. And then I hold down, and then I press 4, and then this thing that I didn't mean happen will happen. Okay, good, I can reset. Oh, never mind, there's a demonstration. My bad. Okay, sorry about that, guys. This is unscripted. Okay, there we go. So I pressed down and circle. I held down and pressed circle. I was supposed to press it at the same time. I didn't pay attention to the plus. My bad, guys. I'm a scrub. So yeah, that's basically the same what I just told you guys. All right, moving on. All right, super meter. Increases with each hit you land or receive along with any successful special moves. So you got 4 bars in this game, and there's a lot of mechanics in this game that use super meter, a lot. So it's definitely something that you have to manage throughout your matches a lot. It's not just a matter of building it to max and then doing your super move, right? That's usually a good way to start off, but I think in high-end play, you're burning a lot of meter constantly. So we're just going to do a special, just showing it that it's building up as we use it. So meter burn is basically the EX moves of Injustice. They call it meter burn, but it's a little different still, even though it's an EX. So we're burning meter on our special moves that are meter burn specific, and it will enhance them in some way. So normally when we see, like when we're saying, okay, we want to EX his core circle forward 1, as a Street Fighter player, I would press R2 at the same time, right? It just flat out become an EX move, right? But in this game it's different. Instead, we do the special and then we decide if we want to meter burn it after it hits. So normally I move up to him and I kick him, but instead, if I'm going to press R2 and burn a bar after it hits, and then we'll get the enhanced version. And what that does is it stuns Superman, and that allows us to basically recapture him and continue our combo. Think of it like a scorpion hook, for example. So this is the same thing, back, forward, triangle throws are battering, right? But if I meter burn it after I use it, it will detonate, like that. And what this does is, if the opponent tries to crouch it to dodge it, I can detonate it above his head, and it will still hit him, basically. So, and then we use the meter burn. So yeah, just a little bit different. Back, forward, 3. That's the slide, and then I meter burn after I hit him. So full meter is the super move. The super moves in this game are not some complex motion where it's like double core circle forward. It's just simply pressing L2 and R2 at the same time. I think there's another shortcut for it, if I remember, just like the X-rays in Mortal Kombat. But anyways, here we go. And NRS, of course, did a really good job making the cutscenes for all the super moves are really, really nice. But I could see this being pretty annoying in the future because the cutscenes are so damn long, right? The whole game's a spectacle. But I think in high-end play, you're not going to see too many supers anyways because there's just so many things you need to burn meter with. Alright, executing a special move as a normal attack connects will result in a special move cancel. So it's basically just saying that we can cancel our normals in the special. This is nothing new for a Street Fighter player. So it wants us to press 2 and then cancel our 2 into his special. So 2 and then forward circle forward 1. Or down forward 1, sorry. So then 3, which actually staggers him back, and then back forward 3. So now we're doing a combo string into it. So like I discussed before, where there are no gaps, you don't link, you just dial it all in one continuous sequence. The same thing applies to the special move when you cancel it. So I don't just go 2, 2, 3, wait a second, and then input my special like you would in a Street Fighter game. Instead, I'm gonna go 2, 2, 3, and then input the special, all in one fluid motion without pausing. Like this. I inputted really fast, no pauses at all, and it all came out in comboed. Everything is basically dialed in, everything is programmed in this game. That's the way the combos work. Like I said, I'll make a separate video on it. It's a lot different than Street Fighter games. So 1, 2, back, forward, 2. So no pause, just one continuous sequence. Jumping attacks is different too. So usually, well, this specific thing that it's teaching me right now is nothing out of the ordinary for a Street Fighter game, except that you're canceling a jumping normal into a special. That's a little different. But when you're doing a jumping attack into a ground combo in this game, you don't just jump, confirm that it hits, and then start comboing. The opponent will have enough time to block. Instead, as soon as you jump, you have to commit and begin your combo already. But don't worry, I'll go over that later. So jumping 2 into back forward 2 before landing. So I'm canceling my jumping normal into a special. So that's a little odd, I would say. So bounce cancels now. I don't even know what to compare this to. I guess this is like your ghetto roaming cancel or something. But from what I understand, this is like an inefficient use of meter. I don't think when like in high-end play and Injustice, when your combos are optimized, every single character has like a really good combo that they use meter with, and they don't need to use this like bounce cancel combo method. But you guys can of course correct me because I'm not too familiar. But anyways, what it wants me to do is this combo string 1-1-2, and then it wants us to press back R2 or down back R2. I'm pretty sure it does the same thing for both. And what it does is it allows us to like cancel out of it into something. So I'll show you. So it canceled into his back 3, and it caused that wall bounce, right? So it's just a way to basically customize your combo, and it's a universal mechanic for all the characters, and yeah, it just allows you to extend your combos that way. But the problem is it costs meter, so it's kind of like most of the combos in the every character has really long good combos in this game. So it's kind of like in my head I'm like, why would I bother, you know, doing these custom combos when every character has good combos anyways, you know? But it's just, like I said, it's a universal mechanic they add in the game. It allows more depth. There might be some situations where you might need to use this in a pinch, but I'm not sure myself. So same thing, except it's going to do something different. You'll notice it goes into the forward 3. So you can either go into the back 3 or the forward 3 like I showed you guys before. I'm pretty sure this makes it combo into the stage transition, but I'm sure you can link into that from a jungle anyways without spending meter. Alright, so some moves require precise timing. Alright, so cross-up attacks. So cross-up attacks, like I said, since there is no block button like in Mortal Kombat, you're able to do cross-ups on your opponent. So this is nothing new from Street Fighter. For Batman, it's his jumping 2. And I'm not sure if this is like a universal thing where it's jumping 2 with every character. I highly doubt it. I'm sure there's some characters you can use jumping 1, or some characters that might not even have cross-ups. But the big thing is the hitboxes in the game are huge. So when you do a jumping 2 with Batman, like you don't have to like time it that well. You can just jump right over Superman's head, and it'll still cross them up. So the cross-ups will be beastly in this game, and people will get opened up if your defense is bad, because there's a lot of characters with a lot of mobility in this game too. So use special move immediately after blocking for a reversal attack. Okay, so reversals are in this game. Now, normally, as a Street Fighter player, reversal, all it means is just that your timing was perfect. It means you did it immediately as soon as you went back to neutral after blocking or getting up off the ground. But for Injustice, it's slightly different where when you do a special and it's a reversal attack, it might change the properties on your special, which is a lot different than Street Fighter. So what I mean by that is some specials, if you do as a reversal, it will actually give it invincible properties or even armor properties. So that's something to consider. I don't know exactly what specials it is. It's different for like every character. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are looking through your move list and you're like, what the hell am I supposed to use as a reversal for my character? Maybe my character might not have one. He actually probably does. You just have to test it when it's done as a reversal. So let's start with doing a standing block here when I'm flashing white. That's the timing for it. So it's immediately after I'm done blocking, just like, you know, Street Fighter game. And when I'm holding back here, so you notice that my special wants me to do is back forward 3, right? I'm holding back to block, but I can't just go forward 3 when I flash white. It won't let me do the special. Instead, I have to hold back and then let go of back, go back to neutral, and then press back forward 3, which is kind of annoying. It definitely slows down my timing a little bit. It makes it feel a little more clunky, I would say. But nonetheless, there's still a lot of time to do reversal. So, rising up off the ground now. So I was just showing the time after someone sweeps me. So, right about here, right when you see Batman's animation as he's getting up, back forward 3. I'm going to assume this is Batman's reversal. So Superman will knock me down. I'm actually inputting it before it flashes white. Like when Batman's on the floor, like I could just input it right there. You don't have to like wait till you see Batman actually getting up. So it kind of throws you off a little there. So a roll puts you some distance between you and your opponent's knockdown. This is basically just like a recovery, basically. Normal recovery or back recovery. So as soon as you hit the ground, you can hit any button, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then you'll roll. As far as I know, there's no difference. Doesn't matter what button you hit, it will be the same. You don't have to time it. You can just mash it. Just mash a button as you're hitting the ground, and you should roll. Okay, a block escape lets you interrupt a blocked combo at the cost of 1 bar on your super meter. I don't know if this is combo specific, but basically, block escapes is just push block. So if I press forward and R2, you'll push the opponent back and build space but it costs meter though. So yeah, it's just showing a single attack here, even though it says combos. It's just whenever you're in block stun, you can press 4 and R2, and it'll push them back. So that's a pretty good universal mechanic to have, as I've seen a lot of crazy 50-50s in this game. So roll escape now can get you out of dangerous situations. This will cost meter as well. So this is really interesting. I'm pretty sure this is new to Injustice 2. This wasn't Injustice 1. So if you just dash and press R2, you'll just roll right in front of your opponent. And as far as I understand, this is invincible when you're rolling. So this is like the perfect thing to do when someone is really zoning you and they're like full screen. Which I heard that Injustice is a very zony heavy game, right? So if you guys are new to this game, you definitely need to know, if there's any universal mechanic you should know first, it should be the roll escape, right? Forward, R2, but it does cost meter, so you can't just, rush your opponent down like crazy. Even if you're going to get someone who's not zoning and you're playing a character that's like really, really good close, I'm sure this could be very useful as well. Or maybe you're in the corner, right? I'm not sure if it's throw invincible, but it's a pretty good universal mechanic to add to the game. Air escape now. So this is kind of like air recovery, like in an anime game, for example. You can do this even, like you can break a combo with this basically. If the opponent is juggling you, you can actually break and use an air escape. But it does cost 2 bars, so it's really expensive. And on top of that, if the opponent anticipates it, they can still combo you and reset the combo entirely. So it's definitely not a get out of jail free card. It's just something that adds more depth to the game. So I'm pressing up in R2, and you'll just recover and throw them off on their juggle timing. Alright? Or I can press back in R2. So I'm sure you're not invincible at all. If I press up in R2 and I jump up again and then Superman just stands there and waits for me, he can still continue to juggle anyways and reset the damage, right? So, but like I said, it's a cool universal mechanic to give to the game. And just add a little bit more depth so that you're not completely dead if the opponent happens to get you in a combo. So after knockdown, a delayed get up lets you stay on the ground longer and throw off your opponent's timing. So you can do a delayed wake up in this game, unlike in a Street Fighter game where you just press nothing and you would naturally do a delay wake up. You press L2. So you hold L2, hold L2, and you will simply just take longer to get up, which will throw off the opponent's timing. Maybe he's waiting to throw you or something, or do an overhead. He might whiff, and you might be able to punish him for that if he's in a full flowchart mode. Alright, so Clash. The Clash mechanic is basically the combo breaker in this game. It's different in Mortal Kombat X, where it just simply combo breaks the opponent. There's nothing they can do about it. In this game, there is some interaction between it. It is limited, I think, yeah, so it says right here, you can only use it once per match, per character, so per player, and after the second health bar is revealed, so the red part of the health bar, so you can only do it once, basically, and it's basically a tug-of-war, and when you're getting comboed into, when the opponent's hitting you, you press forward R2, and you'll go into this Clash, and basically, you will press 1 of 1, 2, 3, or 4, and that will be the different amounts of meter, and the opponent will also, depending on how much meter he has left, he has to guess too, and whoever does more will win the Clash. If the defender, so the person who is being comboed on, wins the Clash, he'll gain back some health, and if the opponent, the person who was comboing you, wins the Clash, he'll get some bonus damage, but he might still do less damage than if you was able to complete the combo in the first place. So let's say you were the defender and you had 0 bars, and your opponent had like 4 bars and used it all. He would do a lot of extra damage on you. You might do more than the combo in the first place. So you have to pay attention. It's not just a free combo break. You have to pay attention to your meter and your opponent's meter. But if you're getting bodied from somebody, most of the time you'll have more meter than them anyways. There's also some mind games too, because the opponent doesn't know how much you're wagering. So you can be like, oh, if I might wager 2 because my opponent's gonna think that I'm gonna use all 4, for example. It's like stuff like that. But I'm sure I'll just make a separate video on this because I don't even fully understand it myself. It's pretty crazy. So it wants me to press 4 and bet all 4 bars. So I'll do that. And as you can see, Superman wagered nothing, so I gained back 33% health, and I was able to break his combo as well. So it's an interesting mechanic, for sure, rather than just your classic, just break the combo for free. So now it's showing what happens when I have no meter to wager, and Superman wagered 1 bar. He gained 15% damage from that, and I still was able to break his combo though. So even if you have 0 meters and you know you're gonna die from this combo, it might be worth just to clash anyways. So that's it, guys. That's the main tutorial mode of this game. Like I said, there's also character tutorials as well, and I think they're pretty good. They're pretty good. It goes through some sample combos, but mostly it explains like your special moves and how to use them in what situation and such, and different characters have different amounts, but they go by pretty quick. They're pretty short, but they're still worth going through when you're first learning your character, so that's really nice. So in the future, guys, you can expect some Injustice tutorials, and like I said, this will be done from a Street Fighter player's perspective. So if you're someone who's just familiar with Capcom fighting games, and you want to get into the NRS fighting games like Injustice 2, then be sure to check out my channel, and I'll help you guys ease into it as I'm learning it myself. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video, guys. Don't forget to like the video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, as of course I'll keep you guys posted on more fighting game news and guides in the future. So till then, guys, have a good one.